Giggle.
P-TECH Course 201, Student Outline, Sales Comparison Approach. Course Material, Section 2, Property and Market Value. Section 3, Highest and Best Use. Section 4, the Appraisal Process. Section 5, Influences Affecting Market Data. Section 6, the Sales Comparison Approach to Value. Section 2, Property and Market Value. Learning objectives. List and explain the concepts of real property. Explain the differences between real and personal property. Explain how limitations on property rights may affect value. Explain the difference between value in use and value in exchange. Define market value. A. The concept of property and property rights refers to text chapter 2, pages 9 and 10. Number 1, real property is defined by Property Tax Code section 1.042. It is land, improvement, minor quarry, mineral in place, standing timber, an estate or interest other than a mortgage or deed of trust, creating a lien on property or an interest securing payment or performance of an obligation in a property enumerated in above items listed A through E above. Number 2, real property can be viewed as the interest, benefits, and rights inherent in the ownership of land, plus anything permanently attached to the land or legally defined as immovable. Number 3, other commonly used terms which have the same meaning as real property, real estate or realty. Number 4, real property may include any or all of the following: land, anything permanently attached to the land, known as improvements, anything permanently attached to the improvements, fixtures, mineral rights and water rights below the surface of the land, air rights above the surface of the land. Number 5, real property can be viewed as a bundle of rights with which the ownership of real estate endows. These rights include the right to use the property, the right to sell the property, the right to lease the property, to enter or to leave the property, to give away the property, to refuse to do any of the above things. In the interest of remembering, here is an acronym for bundle of rights. Think of a slugger. To sell, which is the right to sell; lease, the right to lease or rent; use, the right to use; give away, the right to give away; enter, the right to enter or leave real property; or refuse, the right to refuse to do any of these.
Sweaty.
Oh. So the interest of ownership of all the rights in a property except those reserved by government and with no private encumbrances is fee simple. Number 6, specific examples of real property: a vacant, unimproved parcel of land without mineral rights, a lot with a house built on it, a farm with a house and several other buildings, manufactured home that has been permanently affixed to the land and the owner owns the land, mines or quarries, agricultural land, ag, and the standing timber on the property. B, the nature of personal property refers to text chapter 16, page 462. Number 1, personal property is defined by Property Tax Code section 1.044. To be property that is not real property. Personal property may be subdivided into 2 categories. A, tangible property is defined by Property Tax Code section 1.045 to be personal property that can be seen, weighed, measured, felt, or otherwise perceived by the senses, but does not include a document or other perceptible right that constitutes evidence of a valuable interest, claim, or right and has a negligible or no intrinsic value. Examples include furniture, machinery, equipment, inventory. Intangible property is defined by Property Tax Code Section 1.046 to be a claim interest other than an interest in tangible property, right, or other thing that has value but cannot be seen, felt, weighed, or measured, or otherwise perceived by the senses, although its existence may be evidenced by a document. Examples include patents, copyrights, stocks, bonds, notes, mortgages, and deeds of trust. C. Limitations on property rights can affect market value. Refers to text chapter 2, page 10. Here's another acronym, either PEET or PP. Peppy.
PP.
Well, hey. There's also a note, public limitations. So, number 1, public land use restrictions. Police power consists of zoning ordinances, building codes, subdivision development regulations, and health departure ordinances. B, eminent domain. Do you want me to read these handwritten notes that are out beside?
What page are you on?
9. Like eminent domain, what government takes the land for public use.
Yeah.
Example, AT&T Stadium, roads, construction, things like that. Okay. Well, I was reading it for the sake of reading it. So, C, property taxation. Example, tax rates can affect value. Escheat, a process of gaining property.
I tell you what, since I messed you up on the public land use restrictions, why don't you read B, C, and D again?
You didn't mess me up.
Yeah, I was talking through what you were reading.
Oh. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what this says here. On the sheet, process of gaining property.
When owner passes away.
Good heavens. When owner passes away. Boy, I would have never gotten that one. I was thinking it was 2 words like is Lynn or is. Anyways. Okay, so public land use restrictions part, well, it's the E, P, and E. The E, eminent domain, for where the government takes the land for public use, like AT&T Stadium or, for example, roads and construction. Property taxation, example, tax rates that can affect value. And D, escheat, process of gaining property when owner passes away. Number 2, private land use restrictions, encumbrances. These are private limitations, rights of co-owners of the property, condominium and subdivision restrictions, covenants, conditions, and restrictions found in the chain of title to the property, mortgages, liens and judgments, and leases. D, value in exchange or value in use, refers to text chapter 2, page 13. Number 1, value in exchange. Value is in the mind of man. A, synonymous with property tax code definition of market value. B, considers all potential uses for the land and improvements. C, establishes value based upon highest and best use of the property. Number 2, value in use. Value is the object itself.
Value is in the object itself.
Okay, value is in the object itself. Similar to market value, except with one significant restriction. Value is estimated based upon a specific land use for the property. C, the specified land use may or may not be the HBU. D, if the stated use is the HBU, then value in use is equal to land in exchange. No. If the stated use is the HBU, then value in use is equal to value in exchange. Sorry, I leaned back when I read it. E, cost, price, and value. Remember dust. Number 1.
Hold on. Dust.
In the wind. Desirability, use, scarcity, and transport. Cost is the sacrifice made in terms of money, time, and labor to acquire property. Example, cost to make or build something. Number 2, price. Price is the amount of money given or expected in the exchange for the property, such as gas prices. And 3, value and price are not synonymous. Value is the monetary worth of real estate or personal property to buyers and collectors.
Sellers. To buyers and sellers.
Buyers and sellers. Oh boy. F, market value defined, refers to text chapter 2, page 14. Number 1, market value is defined by Property Tax Code section 1.047 as the price at which a property would transfer. B, for cash or its equivalent, other property and its value. C, under prevailing market conditions, interest rates, under prevailing market conditions such as interest rates, etc. D, assuming the property is exposed on the market for a reasonable time for the seller to find a purchaser. Example, it says Plano, Texas, houses on the market. Don't know what that means. Okay, E, assuming both seller and purchaser know all of the uses and purposes to which the property is adapted and for which it is capable of being used, and of the enforceable restrictions on its use, such as zoning restrictions, historical property. And F, assuming both the seller and the purchaser seek to maximize their gains. G, assuming neither seller nor purchaser is in the position to take advantage of the exigencies of the other. Exigencies, urgent need or demand. Example, bankruptcy, divorce, foreclosure. Note, the market value is considered as the value in the marketplace as indicated in the USPAP Frequently Asked Questions in the 2014-2015 edition of USPAP.